Good afternoon, dear students. So, today we will go through the same topic, that is family. Whatever we discussed before in your sociology subject, we will go through the same topic. Whatever today we'll discuss. Okay. So we have discussed up to the types of family. What are the according to the basis of marriage. Okay, according to the basis of nature of residence, then basis of authority. There are several types of, you can say one, on the basis of size or structure. So there are many types of family. So we have discussed that polygamous family, where one husband marries two or more women. That family is known as polygamous, or polygynous family also, you can say. Okay, so this is on the basis of the marriage. Then we discuss that polyandrous means where the opposite of polygamous, one woman marries two or more men. In polygamous, one man marries and one man marries two or more women. But in polyandrous family, one woman marries two or more women. Sorry, two or more men. Okay, one wife is there with and more than one husband is in that family, in the polyandrous. Don't be confused. Polygamous means one man marries two or more women, and polyandrous family means one woman marries two or more men. Okay, so in polygamous family, there is one husband is there and more than one wife is there. But in polyandrous family, one wife is there and more than one husband is there. So on the basis of marriage, the another classification, the third classification is monogamous family. In monogamous family, one husband is there and one wife is there. So one man who marries only one woman. So this is known as a monogamous family. Okay. This is a polyandrous family. You can see the photo. One woman marries two or more men. Okay, so then next, so on the basis of authority, matrifocal family goes under the basis of classified within the basis of authority. Okay, there are two types, patriarchal and matriarchal. So matriarchal is also known as matrifocal family, so which is a female dominant or male subordinate, you can say. Okay, so here mother is the head of the family. Okay, so then we have discussed about the on the basis of ancestry and descent, where family can be classified into two main types, that is matrilineal and patrilineal. So matrilineal family, which is ancestry continues through the mother. Okay, and in patrilineal family, ancestry continues through the father. Okay, then we have discussed about on the basis of authority, family can be classified into two types, that is patriarchal and matriarchal. We have already discussed. Okay, again I'm repeating. So patriarchal, that is you can say male dominated family. Okay, female subordinate, where female is subordinate, and matriarchal family, within that female dominant, that is a female dominant family, and where male subordinate. Okay, Then we have discussed something about joint family also, means on the basis of size of the size or structure. Okay, on the basis of size or structure, the depth of generations family can be classified into four main types. We have discussed about joint family in the previous class also. I already discussed only the definitions I discussed. Okay, so where joint, what do we mean by joint family? Joint family is it is a group of people who generally live under one roof, who ate food cooked at the one hearth, who hold property in common and who participate in common worship and are related to each other as some particular type of kindred. So, joint family consists of parents, children, cousins, grandfather, grandmother, and lots of members are there. Okay, lots of members are there, which is a group of people who generally live under one roof, who ate food cooked at one hearth. Okay, who hold property in common and who participating in common ownership and believing in common ownership, and whose are related to each other as some particular type of kindred. Okay, so we'll call that household joint family which has greatest generation depth than individual family, and the members of which are related to one another by property, by income, and by mutual rights obligations. Okay, so this is the definition of joint family. Then we'll discuss about the characteristics. What are the main characteristics of the joint family, which is a important question. It can come in your main exam. Okay, it is important. You learn properly. So, what are the main characteristics of a joint family? Joint family, that is depth of generation. It is depth of generation. So the joint family system consists of people of three or more generations, including at least grandparents, parents, and children. Okay, it consists of people of three or more generation. So next one we'll discuss. So joint family has a common roof. So joint family members of the joint family, okay, joint family members normally reside together under the same household. Okay, reside living together under the same household, same home. Okay, same household. Then joint family has a common kitchen. Okay, so members whichever joint family members eat the food prepared jointly at the common kitchen. Okay, normally the eldest female member of the family supervises the work at the kitchen. Okay, so joint family members eat the food prepared jointly. Okay, jointly there togetherly at the same kitchen, at the common kitchen. Then next, it has the common property. So the members hold a common property. Okay, the head of the family manages the family property like a trustee. Okay, the total earnings of the members are pooled into a family treasury. You can say. Family treasure and family expenses are met without common property. Then next, family has prefer or mainly arranged marriage common in the joint family. Okay, so in the joint family the head considers it as his privilege to arrange the marriages of the members. Okay, then religion, all the members of joint family shares the common religion, so their religious beliefs and practices are same. Okay, all the members have the same beliefs same religious beliefs and practices. Okay, so they perform jointly all the religious rituals, and also they celebrate the religious festivals jointly. Togetherly, they celebrate their festivals. Okay, religious festivals. And then so unity, next we'll discuss the cooperation. Joint family has the cooperation, coordination. Okay, so coordination, that is you can say unit. As we know, unit is the strength of the joint family. Okay, we feeling is more in the joint family. We feeling is more in the joint family. Okay, so unitely, togetherly, they uh, work together, they have togetherness. Okay, whenever any challenges or problems arise to any one of its members, okay, of its members, they combine together, okay, and face the problem togetherly in the joint family. So they have the cooperation, coordination within them. Okay, within the family members. Then next we'll discuss the procreation. Joint family has the procreation, means you can say the size of the joint family is by nature bigger. It is bigger in the size. Okay, joint family has bigger in nature. Okay, it is found to be associated with higher rate of production. It is so because in the past, procreation was regarded as a religious duty. Okay, so members are rarely practiced birth control measures. So that's why the size is bigger. The size of the joint family is bigger in the nature. Okay, so what are all characteristics we discussed? So characteristics of the joint family: it has a common roof. Okay, it has a common kitchen. Joint family has a common property. It is depth in generation. Then we discussed about the arranged. They believe in arranged marriage. Okay, they have the same religion. They have the cooperation, togetherness. Okay, procreation. Okay, so next we will discuss about the what are all the advantages of joint family. Okay, so the joint family has many advantages. Many advantages, like you can say, so division of labor, the work will divided or divides within the family member, means because of large family, so all family members helps together. Okay, to do a work and divide the work, uh, which is help them to complete the work easily. Okay, so it give protection of members. Okay, it ensures economic progress. It helps to progress the economic condition. Okay, economy of the joint family, of the family. Okay, it mean of recreation. It avoids fragmentation of property. It secure the wealth also. It helps to develop of good quality. Development of good quality. It helps to cooperative sharing and economy. Okay, it helps to stable and durable relationship within the family member. So then we'll discuss about the disadvantages of joint family. So there are also like advantages. There are also many disadvantages of the joint family. Okay, it we will discuss one by one. It limits the social mobility. It limits the social mobility. It cause poverty because of large member, means large size of the family member. Okay, it damages individual initiative and enterprise, the center of quarrels. Okay, so it lack the lack of privacy. Here the privacy will be lack and affects socialization of children and adversely. Okay, it lowering the status for women usually in the joint family, lowering the status for women. Okay, it promotes laziness in the joint family. It hinders in development of personality. It encourages litigation or strikes. So joint family has uncontrolled procreation in the sense production, reproduction. Okay, many children, they are not practicing the birth control process. Okay, so next we'll discuss about the joint family, sorry, nuclear family. So nuclear family where it consists of parents and children. Okay, children, those are unmarried. So nuclear family, it is defined as a simple as a wife and husband or father or their children. So the traditional definition of a nuclear family is a family which unit that includes which includes two married parents of opposite genders and their biological or adopted children living in the same residence. Okay, so traditionally, the traditional definition, what is it? Nuclear family is a family unit that includes two married parents of opposite genders and their biological or adopted children living in the same residence. Okay, so in a family which is it is a family which consisting of two generation relationship of parents and children. Okay, so which are living together and more or less isolated from their extended family. So next we'll see the characteristics of the nuclear family. So we will discuss one by one. Nuclear family is a self-sufficient. Okay, nuclear family is a self-sufficient. So due to the geographical or emotional distance from extended families, a nuclear family must become self-sufficient by finding employment, nurturing of the children, educating them, socializing them, and providing necessities such as shelter, food, and health care. Okay, so that's why it calls it has self-sufficient. Nuclear family has self-sufficient. The next we'll discuss about the isolated means nuclear family is a isolated, which is self-sufficiency. You can say self-sufficiency, however, can lead to isolation. So when financial or health problems prevent nuclear families from meeting their responsibilities, they may find little support from their communities. Okay, so mostly they are self isolated from their communities. Okay, they like to isolate from their communities, from their neighbors. Okay, so nuclear family has a finance. They are financially stable. Okay, financially stable. The traditional nuclear family often has secure financial finances. Okay, so in two parent families where both parents work and the combined income can provide advantages for the children. So they are financially stable. So nuclear families are supportive. Okay, nuclear families are supportive with the sound finances and emotional stability can benefit their offsprings, encouraging school achievements and self-esteem. Okay, so nuclear families are supportive. So they are evolving. Evolving means in the American nuclear family of the 1940s and 1950s featured stay at home moms raising their children, but later it evolved as both parents joined the workforce. Okay, so next we'll discuss what are the advantages of nuclear family. So, while discussing the advantages and disadvantages of nuclear family, the first and foremost point that pops up in our mind of a person is privacy of life. Okay, person is a privacy of life. So, we'll discuss uh, what. What is the privacy? Privacy, the couple can get their privacy in their own house in nuclear families, whereas we can't get our privacy in a joint family. Okay, so uh, nuclear families are financially stability. Okay, when we talk about the advantages and disadvantages of the nuclear family, then financial stability is one of the strongest point in the nuclear family. So one can be financially strong because of limited expenses. Okay, so there is less number of people in the nuclear family and hence less expenses, so that's why they are financially stable. So, when we are in nuclear family, we face how we are facing fewer problems while shifting from a house. Okay, we can manage our things without disturbing the lives of other people. Okay, this is one of the major advantages of the nuclear family. That is easy in moving, easy in moving. So the elders restrict youngsters not to do certain tasks because they think this is not good. This is not good for them. Okay, this is not good for the youngsters. Okay, so but in today's generation, it is very smart. uh, Today's generation is very smart, so they know what is good and what is bad for them. Okay, and have enough analytical power, so they don't like to restrict themselves. So that is freedom. Okay, so nuclear family has freedom for the youngsters and for the children. Okay, so here people it is. So nuclear family members they have avoidance, they are avoiding the stress and discomfort. Okay, so here people are less emotional. Okay, and they are less emotional because of less members. They have less members, that's why they are less emotional, less stress also. Okay, we can say less discomfort also due to less member in the nuclear family. So then they need not tolerate any kind of discomfort and stress in their family. So next we'll discuss about the disadvantages of nuclear family. So if the parents are working and children suffered from any small or big diseases, okay, then one needs to deal with the with alone, as they don't have elders and other family members to take care of it. Okay, this is the major disadvantages of the nuclear family. It is a major disadvantages of the nuclear family, because no care they are getting. If the parents are, they both are working, if their children suffer from any disease or any type of illness. Okay, then no one there to take care of their children. So that is this is the big or major disadvantages of the nuclear family. Okay, so if then it has some problems to children. Children are suffering from many problems. Okay, in the nuclear family, if the child is small or needs special care, then at that point we will definitely find the nuclear family not good enough. Okay, so because of the parents are, they both are working together. Okay, so that's why they have no time to give to their children for taking care, for giving special care to the small and needy children. Okay, so security wise and safety wise also not good. It is also big issue in the nuclear family. Okay, so security is another disadvantages in the nuclear family. So people feel insecure. Okay, people and the family member children feel nuclear feel insecure in the nuclear family. Okay, this is another disadvantages in the nuclear family. So next, no support will be there. Okay, in the nuclear family. When we talk about the disadvantages, when we will talk about the advantages and disadvantages of the nuclear family, support is the thing one will always miss. Okay, so if there is an argument between the couple, then there is no one to support any one of them within the nuclear family, so they have to deal with their problem alone without any support. So nobody will be there to support any one of them. Okay, so this is also a big issue and another disadvantages of the nuclear family. So after nuclear family, we'll discuss about the blended family. Family, which consists of mixed parents and their children. Okay, so it is defined. It is defined as, it also known as step family. Also, step family is also known as a blended family. Okay, it is defined as, so blended family is blended family is also known as step family, or we can say reconstituted family, which is defined as a family where one or both members of the couple have children from a previous relationship. Okay, so the mother of the couple to whom the child is not biologically related is the step parent, is known as step parent, and especially step mother and step father. Okay, next we'll discuss what are all the main characteristics of the blended family. So blended families are prevalent. Okay, blended families are prevalent means blended families now make up more than half of the families. Okay, so only a very rare extended family does not have some blended family members. So it is a these are not perfect. Blended families are not perfect. These family members come and go. Okay, so nowadays today usually consist of this family consists of different family members living together. So these are ever changing. Okay, these are ever changing and may not be permanent. Some these families are not permanent, may be permanent, may not be permanent. Okay, so next we'll discuss what are all the advantages of the blended family. So while it may seem that step families face many difficulties when blending two different units into one. Okay, there are great benefits to the blended family, as well as children have the benefit of two or more caring parents to provide role models. Okay, all family members can learn to appreciate greater diversity or differences. Okay, so it can instant family an instant family has can formed. Okay, an instant family can formed. Then it often more financial and emotional support is available for all family members. Okay, so all family members learn to appreciate greater diversity and differences. Here adults share responsibilities and give opportunity to have brothers and sisters also. Next we'll discuss about the disadvantages of the family, of the blended family. Okay, so many disadvantages are also there in the blended family, young siblings will tend to adopt the bad habits older siblings, okay. Like bad habits in the in this sense of smoking, drinking alcohol, okay. So financial problems also there. All members of the family can be working, but they are selfish with their money, okay. So need in this type of family it need more patience, adjustment to new roles, okay. So it need adjustment to new roles, okay. Here very difficult in sharing parents and family resources, okay. So jealousy will be tend to develop in this type of family, in the blended family, okay. So these type of problems how can solve, okay, in the blended family. While blended families face even more family challenges than most nuclear families do, okay. So these problems can be addressed or solved with a little patience and a lot of love and a good communication with the family members, okay. So next we'll discuss about the extended family. So, extended family is defined as an as a family structure, as a family structure that consists of two or more adults that are from different generations of the same family who maintain a household together. Okay, for example, you can say in the Waltons, Grandma Walton and Grandpa Walton live in the same house as their son John Walton also, and his wife also living same home, okay. So it is an extended family, which is a family structure that consists of two or more adults that are from different generations, okay. Different generations of the same family who maintain the household together. So what are all the advantages of the extended family? So there are several advantages to living in the extended families, okay. Many advantages are there. So extended families are very important in the countries where there is no social security net, okay. So these families help to prevent elderly people from becoming poor, okay. It helps to prevent the elderly people from becoming poor, okay. So then another advantages is that the grandparents can look after the children, okay. Grandparents can look after the children during the day. The grandparents watch the children to make sure that they are okay, and they also talk to the children when the parents are busy. So this helps the children learn their language, and since the children are well taken care of and both of the parents are free to work on the farm or earn money in the jobs, okay. So the big support structure has a strong influence in the many facets, okay. Many facets of the of life, okay, like economic, social, emotional, psychological, okay. So an individual members guys is softened by caring close members of the extended family. So extended families are very important in the where in the countries where there is no special security net, okay. It mainly helping to prevent elderly it helps to prevent elderly people from becoming poor, okay. So grandparents can look after the children. So these are the advantages of the extended family. So next we'll discuss about the disadvantages of the extended family. So less privacy will get in the next in the extended family. So less privacy because there is so many members in the extended family. So that's a less privacy, they can also cause conflict and problems, meddling in another family members problems. Family has to face problems, okay, in the extended family of all the members burdens, and their worry about those who are in the extended family, okay. So these are the disadvantages of the extended family. So next we'll discuss about the parenthood. What do you mean by planned parenthood? So it may be defined as a children by choice, not by chance, okay. This is a happy family, you can say this is a happy family. So planned parenthood may be defined as a defined as children by choice, not by chance, okay. So they are planning for getting a child. Before getting a child they are planning, okay. Pre-plan will be there. A planned family is a happy family. The current slogan in our country, that is we are two and we have three, okay. But now it's we are two and we have two. The government of the India is advocating small family norms, okay. So that is every married couple should not have more than two children. So this is the rule nowadays. Means our government of India is advocating, that is small family norm. So which is the way every married couple should not have more than two children, okay. So next we'll discuss about the family cycle and basic needs of the family, okay. So according to Hill's model of the family life cycle stays. So establishment, first one is establishment, those are nearly married and childless, okay. Next one is new parents, those have infant 3 years, okay. Then in those new parents means infant 3 years, preschooling family child, those are having child 3 to 6, and possibly younger siblings. Then school age family, that is preschool family we discussed now. Children, those are having children means 3 to 6 years, and possibly younger siblings, okay. School age family, oldest those are oldest children like 6 to 12 years, possibly younger siblings, okay. Family with adolescent, that is oldest 13 to 19 years child, possibly younger siblings, those are. Then family with young adults, those are oldest 20, okay, until first child leaves home. So family as a lunching center, so from departure of first to last child. Post parental family, the middle years is the middle years, okay, after children have left home until father retires, okay. So next aging family, that is after retirement of the father, okay. After retirement of the father, that is aging family. Next we'll discuss about the family as a social institution. So one thing I left in the family cycle and basic need of the family cycle, according to the traditional Indian system, there are 4 stages of family cycle, okay. Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and sannyas, okay. So brahmacharya, we can say that is bachelorhood, okay. We are calling as bachelorhood. Those are bachelor. Then grihastha, second type, that is householder. Those are making family, okay. Then vanaprastha, that is those are preparing himself to enter into the sannyasi life, okay. Then last one is sannyas. Sannyas is completely detached from the society. They have not any relationship with the society. They are completely detached from society. So those are known as sannyas. There are stages of family according to our Indian system, okay, traditional Indian system, that is brahmacharya, grihastha, banaprastha and sannyas, okay. So family, next we'll discuss the family as a social institution. So family social institution is a very complex and integrated set of social norms organized, which is organized around the preservation of of a basic societal value, okay. So obviously the sociologist does not define institution in the same way does the person on the street, okay. So commonly exports officially recognized 5 major social institutions that have been evident in some way in every civilization in history. So those are government, okay. First one is government, second one is family, third one is economics, fourth one is education, and fifth one is religion, okay. So the institution of family has 3 important functions. It has to provide for the rearing of children, it has to provide a sense of identity or belonging among its members, okay. It has to transmit culture between the generation. So throughout the years there have been many social institutions that have made a dramatic impact on the society, none more important than families. So in today's modern industrialization societies, families carry out basic necessities that other social institutions cannot, okay. So different skills such as responsibility can also be acquired from families, where it can be applied to everyday life, okay. So furthermore, families in the past needed to be the most important social institution. So next we'll discuss about the what are all the basic needs of family. So as soon as man felt the needs, family emerged to satisfy them, okay. So those are the grouped under 3 heads. So first one is the need for procreation, second one is sexual urge, and third one is economic needs, okay. So the need for procreation, this need in the first place is the need for procreation of children in order to perpetuate the family, okay. The wish for children is strong in the mother, but in father also it is less developed, because his desire to transmit his name and property to posteriorly. The need for health in old age inspires him to have an offspring, okay. So next we'll discuss the sexual also. The second heads the sexual laws. This is the secondly, uh, there is a need for sexual satisfaction. The consequence of the sexual act is the family, okay. So next we'll discuss the economic needs. Economics, that is third heads, okay. Thirdly, economic needs lead man and woman to combine into a family. The woman fulfills functions within home, while a man fulfill his functions outside the home, okay. So nowadays women can undertake functions outside of the home also, okay. So besides these basic needs, other needs of the family and other needs of the family, like what are all other needs, like love, affection, tenderness, okay, joy, devotion, food, safe water supply, socialization, okay. Socialization, religious, adequate nutrition, shelter, educational functions, language development, protection, proper disposal of waste. So these are all the other basic needs of the family. So next we'll discuss about the importance of interdependence of family members, okay. So family is a primary group primary group functional social unit in which members will have long lasting. Okay, it is good the good good sorry good interpersonal durable relationship exist among the family members. Okay, so mother is a primary caregiver in a family. Okay, family is the first socializing agency for the children. So family is a indispensable unit for the societal members. It is the total personality development of the child. It has to develop the personality development of the personality sorry personality development of the child will be influenced by nature of the family members only. Okay, now good human interpersonal relationships are essential for healthy relationship. So family provides sense of love, affection, sharing bondage, creating bondage among its family members. Okay, so familial communication is essential to understand each member's feelings, attitude, emotions of its members. Okay, so they family members sacrifice their lives for one another. That much love within that present within that. So everyone in the family will work for the welfare of the other members. So these are all the importance of interdependence of family members. It is a primary group. Family is a primary group where functional social unit in which members will have long lasting, okay, good interpersonal durable relationship exist among the family member. It family members provide sense of love, okay, affection, sharing the things, okay, among the family members. So family members can sacrifice their lives for one another. Okay, so these are the some important things, importance of interdependence of family members. So today in this class what we have discussed, we have discussed types of family. There are several types of family according to the basis. Okay, then we discussed joint family, about joint family, what are the in detail we discussed about joint family, what is the definition of joint family, then what are the characteristics of the joint family, what are all the advantages of the joint family, disadvantages of the joint family. Then we discussed about the nuclear family, all detail about the nuclear family we discussed. What is the definition, what are the main characteristics of the nuclear family, advantages of the nuclear family, disadvantages of the nuclear family we discussed. Then next we discussed about the blended family. So blended family is the definition we have discussed. What are all the main characteristics of the blended family, what are all the advantages of the blended family we discussed. Then disadvantages also we discussed. After that we have discussed about the extended family. What do you mean by extended family? Then what are all the advantages and disadvantages of the extended family? Then next we have discussed about the planned parenthood. What is the meaning of planned parenthood? We have already discussed. Okay, so next the family cycle and basic need of the family I explained. Okay, so then family as a social institution we have discussed. The basic need of the, what are all the basic needs of the family. Then what are the importance of interdependence of family members. Up to this we have completed. Okay, so this is a assignments for you. So So this is an assignment for you. That is this is list out the types of families and explain the characteristics in detail. So you have to write these assignments and you have to send your paper photocopy to my personal WhatsApp number. Okay. Thank you for listening me. If you have any doubt, you can put a message to my WhatsApp number. Okay, personally. Thank you.